is adding a tree to Family Tree and Ancestry and how to connect them. So let's get started with Family Tree first. If I can remember how to do all this screen sharing thing. All right, let's see. Which one am I going to do first? I'm going to do, okay. So here's Family Tree. And I'm sure that all of you who are here, oh, this isn't the one I wanted to do. It's okay. What I did it on. Okay. I didn't. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud here. I wanted to do my tree, but no, I lost it all. Okay, well, hang on just a second. I need to use my ex-husband's tree on Ancestry to use as an example because he doesn't have anything done on that. But I wanted to use my tree for this. So I've got to get it refigurated here. Okay. So here we are on tree. Now, people will ask you, or you've encountered it before, and I'm sure you all know the answer to this. When you come on and here you are with your family because of your membership number, and then here's your husband or whatever, or your wife, either one, and there's no tree attached to them. And you think, okay, what do I do? How do I see their tree on when I'm logged in to Family Tree? And the answer is that when it's your spouse, and it's a lot of times it's young new married couples that have this question, it's because their parents are still living and possibly their grandparents are still living. And you cannot see their parents and grandparents because they're not your blood relatives or your line. So what you have to do is you have to physically type in the names of their parents, and you can do it as a placeholder. Whoever's living, you have to type in. You type in their information. And then once you get to the end of the living people, then what you do is that you go and add their parents. So you would click on it and you would, whoops. I'm gonna do that. Show you to get to the end here. We're going to pretend that we're not back in the whatever hundreds here. So it would look like this, and then you would go look for them by their ID number. If you know their ID number, which would be very, very helpful to know, then you can do it by ID number, or you can just do it by their names. Of course, you'd have to know the names of the next generation, but once you've got their parents in, I'm sure they know their parents' names, or if the grandparents are still alive, they would know their parents' names. And so you're either going to be able to find that ID number, or you're going to be able to type in their names and find them and add them to that tree. And then once that happens, the whole thing pops in. So I'm sure that you already knew that, but just as a review to know how to make sure you can connect your tree. So just as a real quick review here of FamilySearch before we go into Ancestry and the trees there, let's just review. This is a pedigree view where you can just keep going and extending as far as you want, or as far as it goes. And you have these different views up here. This is what's called the landscape view. And you have the portrait view. You have the fan chart view, up to 7 generations. And we love this view because it's so fun to be able to see these birthplaces or sources or stories, or who has photos, who has research helps that need to be taken care of, and who might need ordinances. So yellow means that you can't do them right now. The this means that they're already in progress. And there's a key over here on this side that tells you what all those different colors mean. But where all the work is done is on the pedigree view. So you click on them, click on person. Details, anytime you get lost in one of these other categories, details is where all the information is. And this is where you can add sources, like here's a marriage. It must have just appeared because I thought I had attached everything for my grandfather. So here's a marriage in Indiana to my grandmother. Which is kind of odd because they didn't get married in Indiana. So it's kind of interesting. Oh, they did right here. But it's interesting because it doesn't give me the date. But I can attach that record. And just to review, anytime you want to change or fix something, you click edit. And then over here on the right-hand side, you've got any research helps or documents. If you want to quickly go to one of these other areas, you can. However, if you do, you might want to do a right-click on it. Well, I guess it won't let you. So if you click on it, what's going to happen is that it's going to, you just have to go back and forth like this. So I usually like to open up 2 screens, but you can do that because you might see some clues that you wouldn't have found otherwise that may just appear. And we've got all the changes here, and that can be helpful, especially if somebody's done some merging. Oh, this is interesting. Somebody did a couple event change. What did they do? I want to go in here and see what they did. She changed something. Maybe it was weird like that and she fixed it so that it was like that. So that's good. But you can go in and you can see what people have been doing to your tree, to your person. Here's where you can merge duplicates if they appear. Right here, merge by ID, or it shows you possible duplicates. This is where you can print. So that's just a quick review. And then just to review these up here. Now, this search is getting a little bit out of control here. I'll just have to tell you that. It's making me a little bit crazy because they're changing it. In fact, the other day, I asked one of our researchers about these records for a particular country in Colombia. And I went to the catalog to find them. And she didn't see what I saw at the catalog. And so I said, well, where were you looking? And she said, well, I have to look at records and images and the catalog. That they're trying to get everything onto images. And so this is fairly new. I'm not sure how much you all know about images, but records you're probably all familiar with because this is where the records are, and they've changed this look, which I don't like very much, but you know, what am I going to say? I'll get used to it.
Yeah, we have no
choice. And I'm trying to get used to it. And the collection title, browsing all collections, so you can kind of find where you want to look. Here's United States. Oh, they changed it back, so it's now easy to look at again. Yay. So you can, there's United States. Remember, I don't know if you remember last time I couldn't find the census, or one of my classes I was teaching, it's like, where did the census go? It's under United States. So this is where all the records are that have been digitized and indexed. Now, under records, though, there's a lot more records here for some reason. I need to learn a little bit more about this. But when you go under records, if you don't find it in the catalog or you don't find it under the records here, go to images. images are putting a ton of things under images that you don't know are even there. And so you want to go to images and you can look for, just start, if you want to do, just look for a person, or you can look for an image group number, which is, I think they're starting to put into the catalog now. You can do a collection title. You can put the place. Like if there's an obscure little town or village in Germany or South America or Mexico that you want to find, type in the place, the year range, and see what will pop up under images. Because I found things there that I couldn't find in other places. So I think that they haven't merged everything quite together all yet. So right now, when you're looking for records to find, you might want to check that out.
So that images just doesn't mean photographs. That means images of records.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep. Okay, so let's go over to Ancestry now. Let me log out of this, and I need to log back in as Dennis. So it will work, right? Okay. So now I am in Ancestry. This is usually what it looks like when you come in. Right here is the tree that I've already loaded. What I want to talk to you about first is how to get your tree on Ancestry if you do not already have a tree on Ancestry. The tricky thing about Ancestry is that it's difficult. You can't add a GEDCOM in once you already have a tree there. You can't like add GEDCOMs to it. You can create a tree from a GEDCOM, of course, but adding to it, then I'm going to show you how to connect back and forth with FamilySearch to get things in. But to start your initial tree, if you do not already have a tree in Ancestry, is you just want to go to trees. Whoops. And create and manage trees. Wait, why do they not have it? Oh, they've changed it since I looked at it last. I mean, I just uploaded his tree 3 days ago. Oh, here it is. Okay, create a new tree. Create a new tree. Nope, that's not right. Oh, upload a GEDCOM. That's what you need to do. Sorry, guys. Click upload a GEDCOM. Choose a file, wherever it is on your desktop, and I'm going to tell you where to find it, how to find that in a minute. Name your tree. But the trick is, where are you going to get it from? You could import it from FamilySearch if you want to. But you have to sign in, which I've already done. And it will do up to 4 generations. But if you want to do more than that, what I suggest that you do, and if you don't already have a desktop database of your own, come to the Family History Center. We have them there. I use Ancestral Quest because I'm old, and it's like the old personal ancestral file path that they used to have. What I suggest you do to create a tree that you want to put into Ancestry is you add your living people in to Ancestral Quest. And then what you do,
you do that manually?
Yes, because you have to have the living people in there to be able to connect to a deceased person. So just add the living. Oh, it's because there it is. Let me just, I'm going to add a deceased person here so I can show you what I'm talking about. My dad. So you can actually add the deceased person in. Okay, so what I would need to do is, first of all, with Ancestral Quest, you have to connect Ancestral Quest with FamilySearch. Right here, you log in. Okay, I've successfully logged in. So now, you see where it says import family lines? I click that, and I can add up to 100 generations. So let's say I just want to do 10 right now. Add ancestors to end of line person, include families, import LDS ordinances, import. Are you sure you want to proceed? Yes. Do I want to make a backup? No, because I only have my dad in there. He's still living. He's not living.
But are you opening all your ordinance work into the?
No, I'll show you how to do that where you don't have to. Let me get my dad's PID number here really quick. Oh, brother. Let me go back. Cancel. 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 He's not alive. He died in 2010. In Yuma. Okay. I'm just going to say 4 for right now. Okay, it's going to make me. Okay, let me find it over here then. There he is. Okay, there's his number. Now I can just paste it right here. They're going to search for him. I'm going to say, yes, that is him. Link. So it linked him, and now it's going to import those 4 or how many generations you say. If you put in more than 20 or 10 or 20, it's going to take a while to download. But once you get them loaded in, it makes it really easy to get it into Ancestry. So it's just a matter of loading in, connecting your end of lines, whoever your deceased person is, and connecting them with FamilySearch and then loading it in. Am I making any sense at all?
Yes.
I hope. Okay.
Yeah, you're telling me that's too hard for me to do.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'll do it one more time. I'll show you one more time as soon as they get loaded in.
Well, this is being recorded, so I'll be able to go back and watch the recording.
Well, I can show you really fast on one of the other end of lines. The main thing is that type in your living person, like you, whoever's alive, you and your parents, if they're alive, type them in, and then type in the deceased person. That's all you have to do. And then go to your deceased person to add them in, add into FamilySearch. So I would type in me, my mom, my dad. My dad's deceased, so that makes it easy to be able to bring in the rest of the tree. So like, let's pretend that Thomas Bolton Helm is my father, my deceased father or grandfather. So I click on him, FamilySearch, import family lines, decide how many I want to bring in, import. The thing that got you really confused is at the beginning, I was trying to connect my dad with FamilySearch, and I had to go find his PID number.
Oh,
Because it didn't bring him up right away for some reason. But usually it will bring him up right away. Okay, so once you've created this, it only usually takes like about 5 minutes, maybe 15 at the most, to create as big of a tree as you want to have an ancestry. You go to click on File and Export. And you're going to export to Other, because you're not exporting it to any of these places. You're exporting it to Other. And right here is where you can take out the LDS data. You can take out Prepared By. You can take out confidential data. You can take out contact info. You can take out full information on the living. You can decide if you want names on the living or not. You can take out anything you want to take out or leave in anything you want to leave in right here. And then you just export. Export and save it. Usually I save it on my desktop because that's an easy place to find it. And boom, it's gone. So now you've got what they call a GEDCOM. So when you're in Ancestry and you want to create a tree, right here, if you click Upload GEDCOM, and you go and find that. And I said I put it on my desktop, and where'd it go? Oh, right here, test. I forgot I called it test. And then you just click it, open, and it pops in. I don't want to do it because I don't want to really add this to Ancestry. So the steps are, again, you can upload 4 generations if you want to straight into Ancestry, but then you're going to have to go to each of the ends of those 4 generations. I mean, from FamilySearch. To go to each of those ends of those 4 generations and then upload 4 more on each of them. That's one thing you can do. Straight from Ancestry, you can bring it in from FamilySearch. Or you just go and you get a desktop database like Ancestral Quest. You can do it at the library. You can use it with Roots Magic, whatever program that you already have. And all you have to do is type in the living people and the first deceased person. Then you go to that deceased person. You connect them with FamilySearch. First of all, you have to log in. If you just click Import Family Lines, it's going to make you connect them. Anyways, it's going to tell you you have to. So it will automatically make you connect with FamilySearch.
okay.
And then you can bring in 20 generations if you want to, however many generations you want to bring in. The only thing to remember is that, of course, FamilySearch could be wrong. So whatever you bring in and put onto Ancestry, you might want to trust that it's, make sure that it's kind of correct from FamilySearch. So that's the best way and fastest way to get it into Ancestry without typing it in yourself. Because if you want to type it in yourself, that's going to take you months to try and get all that information in there.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to show you how to, yes.
Diane, can I ask a question of clarification?
Yes, please.
So if we want to just do 4 generations at a time and make sure that it's the way we believe it is from FamilySearch, then we can do it directly from FamilySearch.
Yes.
If we want to do more, then we have to create a GEDCOM.
I would.
And then Ancestral Quest is one way to do it.
Yes.
And then do as many generations we want to transfer the information from FamilySearch over to Ancestry or whichever one we want to do, I guess. Okay.
And now I'm going to show you, if you already have a basic tree in Ancestry, how you can load in those 4 generations.
Yeah, that was my question.
So I'm going to show you that next. So I'm going to go here to, this is why I wanted to use Dennis's, because mine's already kind of complete. And so, and his isn't. We've just loaded his in. So right here, we have his tree right here. And what I would do, I was going to pick, let's see, Samuel Rogers. So I'm going to go one more generation here. Samuel Rogers and Lucy Dennison. I happen to see that FamilySearch had more than I have on this. Now, I'm going to make a big leap here and hoping that it's correct, but this is the principle of how you do it. So that if you have your grandparents in there and you want to add in 4 generations to each of your grandparents, this is the same procedure that you would use to bring them in 4 generations at a time. Okay. So right here, when you have set up your LDS account with Ancestry, you automatically have this little tree that will appear on each of your ancestors. And that's the FamilySearch tree. So let's say I want to add in some more generations to Samuel Rogers. So I'm going to click on this tree. And first of all, I have to connect him with FamilySearch. And they're not finding any matches. So I'm going to say find match by FamilySearch ID. So I need to go over here and find that PID number for Samuel Rogers. So I paste that in there. Oh, wait. Let me try something else here. You know, I did practice this. No matches have been found. So I click that. I put this in, paste, but it's not letting me click find match. That's crazy. Oh, brother. It was working earlier. Oh. Okay, well, here's Daniel Rogers. So Daniel will let me click him. So I'm going to match him up with FamilySearch. I think I need to move this black thing here. Oh, that's the problem. I think this black thing was hiding it. Connect person. So now let me go to Samuel Rogers.
Is that a right click to get that copy ID?
No, all you have to do is click on it just once, just a regular click. It pops up copy ID. You click that and it copies it.
Okay.
Then when I go over here, I have to do the right click to paste it.
Okay.
Now it says add to FamilySearch, but I don't want to add to FamilySearch because he's already in FamilySearch. So, I had to hit enter. This is good we're going through this because then you can see all the mistakes you could make. I had to hit enter after I pasted that in there. Once I hit enter, now I can click find match. And there it is. And I can connect it. All right. So now, once I have the little check mark there, it tells me that this Samuel Rogers is connected to the Samuel Rogers and family tree. So now if I want to add more relatives, this is just click this once. Here's the drop-down menu, add relatives from FamilySearch. So I click that. And I want to add right here up to 4 generations for this person. Continue. And so if you want to do it, like Helen said, 4 at a time to make sure it's correct, this is how you do it. You start with your grandparent or whoever it is that's deceased in your family. You know, put yourself, put your parents in Ancestry, just like you would have done in AQ, Ancestral Quest or Roots Magic, and go to your deceased person and connect them. And then you can add in your 4 generations just like that. And now I've got 4 generations added to Samuel Rogers. Of course, I don't know if it's correct because I haven't checked it, but this is just to give you an idea of how it works. So now let's go to his wife, Lucy, and let's do the same thing so you can see it again. First, I have to connect her. See, there's no check mark here, so I know I have to connect her with FamilySearch. So I click this, find the match by FamilySearch ID because they couldn't find her. Oh, they did find her because her husband's in there, so they found her. So I can click that, connect person. Now she's connected because there's a check mark next to her name. So I click the tree. I can add relatives from FamilySearch. And here it's telling me all these different people I can add if I wanted to, like her father and mother and these siblings. But I want to add up to 4 generations. So I click that and continue. So if you want to do it 4 generations at a time, this is the fastest way to do it, for sure. If you want to do 20 generations at a time, you want to do it through a database on your computer. So does that, did you all follow that okay? Did anyone not follow that okay?
Yeah, I got that one.
Okay. So now there's also a way of adding records. So now I want to go back to I practiced on her, a way of trading documentation back and forth between FamilySearch and Ancestry. So if you click on this, you can compare the person on FamilySearch. So I click compare, and I can see that all this is from the FamilySearch tree. This is from the Ancestry tree. And if I keep scrolling down, I can see the sources. And I can see that there may be sources in Family Tree that are not on my Ancestry tree. Now, granted, Ancestry already has all of those you can just pop in. But what if there's something different here that I didn't have that I want to have on my Ancestry tree? So maybe I want one of these genealogy bank obituaries. So I can click that and it'll bring it over. And then at the bottom, I save changes. And it will bring that over from FamilySearch into Ancestry tree. By the same token, if I want to take something that's on my Ancestry tree, that's a source, and put it on my FamilySearch tree, I can come down and see are there sources on this side that are not on that side. Like here's a 1940 census, so I can click that, save changes.
Oh, wow.
Now that will be on my FamilySearch tree.
Oh,
That's so easy.
yeah,
That's a game changer.
that's cool.
So it can be really fun. And with ordinances, you can submit ordinances from Ancestry. And here it's telling me that the ordinances are complete. Now, if they weren't complete, you would go through that process of doing it. Personally, I prefer to do it right in FamilySearch myself, just to make sure that.
Oh, to attach the sources?
No, to do my ordinance submissions.
Oh,
I would rather do that in FamilySearch than going through Ancestry to do my ordinances. So are there other questions about your tree here? We can kind of review a little bit about this tree because, you know, you get your brain into FamilySearch and how that works with adding and subtracting and fixing everything, but Ancestry is just a little bit different. But once you get used to it, it works. Like if I wanted to change something with Vicea, maybe with her birth or her death information, there was something that was not quite right. I can click on edit and I can do a quick edit and I can fix it right there. If there's something with the relationships, I can click edit relationships and I can fix things here. Now, sometimes you're going to find in Ancestry, people, when they put in GEDCOM, sometimes they double duty and you've got double people in here. And so when you want to fix that type of thing, you can come to tools and you can merge with duplicates. So this is where their little merge feature is. You can add right here, you can add a family member. This would be a spouse to Vicea, or you can add a son or daughter, brother or sister. You want to see her siblings at a glance. Here you are, she is with her husband, but I want to see her siblings. I can just click that really quick. So in FamilySearch, they're kind of side by side. In Ancestry, you just have to click a little bit differently. Now, here's all the hints. So probably all the hints that were in FamilySearch are here. But you can look through all these hints and you can decide if you want to put them in this tree or not. I don't always put in the other member trees. You can if you want to. But look at, here's some digital images of her tombstone. So that's kind of cool. All I have to do is just click save.
and then so will that go to memories then?
Let's look at it and see. I think it just goes right. Well, let's see, gallery. Yeah, it did. It went into the gallery. They call it gallery here.
Oh,
Okay. So I know Nancy always tells you how much I love Ancestry. Well, to tell you the truth, I use FamilySearch when I'm inputting people and information because I want to know right away if there's a duplicate. So when I'm doing my descendant research or whatever, especially my descendant research, I work straight in FamilySearch because I want to know right then if there's a duplicate popping up or a problem or whatever. So when I'm adding people, I use FamilySearch. When I'm doing searching, that's when I use Ancestry. So if I wanted to know more about Vicea, I would like to go to, so I'm doing a right, okay, let me just tell you how I did this. I'm clicking on this 1940 census. I'm doing a right click on view record so I can open it in a new tab. So I can keep this open and still look at it. And then I may want, this is where I like the suggested records. So I can click on Morgan Rogers and I can see, look at all these different sources that are for Morgan. And if I want to click on one of those, I can, and it still shows me the same records, maybe sometimes more. So it's just a little bit faster, you know, as far as trying to find different records that belong to people. Let's say I wanted to find something for Richard Rogers, maybe a marriage or something about him. Well, here he is in a death index. Here he is in a divorce index. Here he is in a U.S. obituary index. So I would want to look at those or find a grave, which would give me information really, really quickly. So that's whenever I like to use that. I see a lot of chat here. Is there questions? Is everybody getting their questions answered, or is there something I need to look at really quick here?
Ask Diane Okremiko. I think she has some some questions about
So
linking
here,
the
let's
two.
go through them. So Alice said, so even if they're alive, they will pop up if you put their dead in. If they're alive, they won't pop up. That's why you have to type in the live people.
Okay.
What you do is, if you're talking about in FamilySearch, when you're trying to attach them, the live person's here, then you have to look for the deceased people to attach them to the living person.
Okay.
With my wife, it would just show my spouse. Then for her parents and grandparents who are alive, it just says living, no name or anything. So that's where I would type in her parents. Oh, unless they're deceased. If they're deceased, then you want to go look for them because they're going to be in there. They're going to be in FamilySearch. You just have to go find them. Well, they should be in there unless they're not members of the church and they were never put in the first place. Then you would have to type in their information. But if they were members of the church, they're in there somewhere. You just have to go and do a search for them. Like, let's see, put that over here. Right here. I'd have to go do a search. I'd put in their names, everything I know about them, and try and do a search to find them. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, let's see who else. If I'm doing a link to an ancestry tree, how do I link FamilySearch? Can you explain a little bit more what you mean by that, Diane, or did you get your question answered?
So I'm just trying to figure out how to link my ancestry so it goes into my FamilySearch, the documents that I find.
Oh, you want me to review that again? How you do that? Okay. So if you have documents in your ancestry tree that are not in family tree, then what you do is you're going to click on your little tree right here. Compare person on FamilySearch.
Okay.
And then all the records that you have already attached in Ancestry should appear right here.
Okay.
And then you just click the little box next to it if it's empty over here, and then it will pop over.
Okay.
You click the FamilySearch. Oh, you told her. You were answering her. Okay. Do I have to do this on a desktop computer? No. I'm actually on my laptop right now.
Can you do this type of thing on a phone? Probably not. Not big enough to be able to have two screens up.
That's a good question. I bet people who are really smart could do that. I'm not really smart.
I just notice the younger people just want to do their phones.
Yeah, I know. You'd have to have kind of a big phone, I guess, or good eyes.
So I did it with MyHeritage, not Ancestry, but I know with MyHeritage you can download their app and you can connect with FamilySearch. And you would just have a separate app with MyHeritage.
Yeah,
And you would do
Ancestry has an
exact
app
same
for your phone too. Yeah.
Yeah. I just haven't gotten to it, but
So there's probably
MyHeritage,
ways
we've
of
done
doing
that.
it.
Mhm.
And people who are really good with their phones could probably figure it out, I'm sure. Okay, let's see. We already answered that. Looks like you all were answering each other's questions. We answered that. Okay, I think we got to all the questions. Do y'all have other questions now? About trees on either a FamilySearch or Ancestry. Now, I think I've told you this story many times before. I am a true believer in having a tree on Ancestry. For one thing, that's how, and I don't want to be redundant and telling you the same story over and over again, but that's how this guy in Germany found me. He's the one that wrote and said, if you send me all your descendants of Caspar Kuhnreich, I'll send you all his ancestors back to 1500. And he found me because I was on Ancestry. And that's how he knew I was a descendant of Caspar Kuhnreich. So, and that's how I found my cousin in England, because they had posted a picture, the same picture that I had. And that's the one where I told you where I found 300 names that day to take to the temple. So I always highly recommend that you put a tree on here. because you never know. And then also because it does generate hints. You know, like here I have Pernicia Enoch. I haven't researched her in years. And so it'd be really interesting to see what have other people found on her that I don't know yet. Wait, it didn't. She is. So there may be one. There may be sources on here that I haven't seen before. Looks like, where did they? I guess they've all been posted.
Are you trying to see what was the hints?
I see
themselves
what other
from-
sources there might be.
Yeah, yeah. So if you go back to the tree and you click on that little leaf, that'll pull it up for you. Go back to your tree.
It's taken away my other tree as well. It's like, what happened to my little ancestor, my little family search tree? It's gone. That's weird.
Let's see, I believe if you click on the right next to Van Eaton family tree. Whoops. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no tree here anymore. What happened?
Okay. So I think if you do the little down arrow next to Van Eaton family tree,
Oh,
go
right
over
here.
to the left. Yep. Yep. Let's see view tree. And that's going from Van Eaton. But are you trying to go to your particular tree?
Oh, I was trying to see why is not the little family search tree there anymore? What happened to it? Oh, somehow I got it to somebody else's tree. That's why. How did that happen? That is weird. Okay. Somehow I crossed over to somebody else. So I want to see Pernicia. I want to go to her profile. I must have accidentally hit search instead of profile. That's what happened.
So glad that somebody else does that.
But she still doesn't have a.
Go back.
Am I logged in as Dennis or am I logged in as me? Let me see. Maybe I'm logged in as the wrong person. No, I'm logged in as him. Roger's family tree. Why
Search tree on her link next to search.
why is there no little ancestry tree? I mean family search tree. Oh, there it is. I was looking not the right place. Okay, there it is. I was looking at the hints up here when it was telling me before, and here's her tree right here, the little ancestry tree. And so here again, I'll show you. I'm going to connect her. I'm connected. And here's her hints. There's the hints right there. That's what I was looking for originally. And so I can go and I can see the hints that there may be. So when you have a tree on here, automatically it just generates hints for you. So there may be things that you don't know about her or about your ancestor. Like here's a find a grave, different censuses. If I didn't know that already about her, that would be really helpful in my research. So I hope I haven't been too confusing as I've losing my brain here.
I got a question, Diane.
Okay.
So Ancestry, well, Family Search is a shared database. And Ancestry said is private, but if this person in Germany connected with you on Ancestry, kind of like are the trees shared? What is shared in Ancestry?
It's not on Ancestry. When you create a tree, that's one thing I didn't mention, is that you can create a public tree or a private tree. If it's a private tree, nobody can see your information. If it's a public tree, everybody can see your information.
So
they can't add to it, but they can see it and they can contact you. Like, for example, if they wanted to contact Roger's family tree, then they would, usually there's a name right here. I don't know why it's not there. Maybe I didn't set it up. You want to make sure you set it up where they can click on your name and they can get your email information. And if not, they can send you, oh, there it is right here. usually it's over here too, but it's right here. I can actually click on him and I can send him a message. You can send a message to that person, see right here or right here.
Okay. So public trees are privately controlled as well.
Yeah.
They can view it, but not change. So they can connect through that. And then do they mark something on the public tree? Is there a thing where it said, or is there information? Is that why you say your email's got to be there? And so they take
Well, they
that
can send you a message, just like on Family Search where people can send you a message. They can actually send you a message here.
Oh,
So
okay.
here I clicked on the name and it can, well, I've clicked in as him, but if I wanted to send, so it's not going to let me send a message to him. So what I could do is I could go, let me try to find another tree here. Let me go look at, from his view, let me go look at my tree. So let's go to like public member trees. I'm gonna type in, so I can show you how to send a message. So let's say he was interested in this and wanted to send me a message and say, hey, I'd like to know more about you. Okay. His name didn't show up here because we were in his tree, duh. But now that he's looking at my tree, that he could click on this, it takes him to a place where he can send message.
Okay.
And so then you just say, I am really interested in this family. Would you message me or give me your email or whatever, make contact with that person. And I've done that a lot with DNA. When I'm trying to figure out something, I'll send them a message and say, do you know who a living person is of this family? So I can get them tested for DNA or something. So there's a lot of different reasons for sending for sending a message to people.
Yeah, thanks.
I always recommend you do a public tree. People do private trees just because they want to have it somewhere where they can see it and still have access to the hints and everything.
Right.
But it's really helpful to have a public tree so that, like with my example, people can contact you and you can start making connections, and at least they can't change anything.
Yeah,
They
it's shared but controlled.
Yeah, still in your control.
Yeah.
Diane, I'm assuming if you've got it as private, you can change it to public.
Yes. Right here, you can go to settings, you can go to your account settings, and you can change whatever you want to change in here. See public profile. Like if I click that, I can change it if I wanted to. And so when you're in settings, you can check your account, you can change anything that you want to change in there.
Question, Dave, can you download your whole tree to Ancestry, or do you have to do like one at a time, one name at a time?
Okay, were you here when I talked about putting it into Ancestral Quest and then loading it in?
No,
Okay.
no, I clicked on like half an hour. I lost track of time.
Oh, okay. There's two ways that you can bring in your tree. One is if you're in Ancestry itself, we'll review this really quick just so everybody will have a nice review again, is you go to the person. Well, let's say that you just have you and your parents in there, okay?
Yeah.
What you want to do is type the living people in there. And then once you've got to the deceased person, I'm going to try and pick an end of line here that will work. Let me see who might have more. So I'm going to pretend like, let's say that Benjamin and Mary here, let's pretend they were born in the 1900s instead of the 1600s. And I want to add, Ancestry will let you add 4 generations at a time. Not more, just 4. So what you do is you go to that end of line person and,
Tree.
oh, I'm in the wrong tree. Okay, I got to go back to, you have to be in your own tree. It only works if you're on your own tree. Okay, so let me go here to Mary Lassiter. Am I still not?
You adding Ancestry to Family Search or Family Search to Ancestry?
Are you talking about reverse to send, putting it into Family Search? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about Family Search to Ancestry because you're on Ancestry now, right? So,
Right. I'm talking about bringing Family Search into Ancestry. Is that what you're asking?
yeah,
Okay. So first of all, I would get to the end, you know, like your parents that you put in or your grandparents who are deceased.
yeah.
So if your grandparents are deceased, I'm going to pretend like this is your grandparent. First of all, see the little tree here? If you have an
Yeah.
LDS account, first of all, you have to connect him. Oh, this is the problem we had before. Okay. I have to go and find that match in Family Search.
Uh-huh.
So that will take me a minute here to do. And that may be the end of line anyways. Let me do the shies instead. Let me go back here. I'm trying to find an end of line so I can show you a real good example.
Okay.
Okay, well, I could show you really quick how I can find somebody. See right here where it says tree search. Let's say I want to go find Benjamin Enoch. See, is that the same guy? 1768, right here. That's my fast way of finding somebody, okay? So let's say I want to add in, let's say pretend that Mary Stalcop is your grandmother and you want to add in 4 generations to her. So I could click on here and see if it will find her. And it did find her. Sometimes it doesn't, and then you'll have to go find the match and put the PID number in, but it found her. So I click that and it connects me to that Mary Stalcop. Now I want to add in 4 generations. You can only do 4 at a time. So I click here, right here, I'm going to add relatives, add up to 4 generations, continue, and it adds 4 generations to that person. So that's how you can add it 4 generations at a time. If you wanted to add in 20 generations into Family Search, I recommend that you download that into Ancestral Quest and then create a GEDCOM to pop into here. And I talked about that earlier in this video. You could watch it again, or I can help you to try and figure that out if you wanted to learn that. But that's how you do it in Ancestry to bring it in quickly without typing. You have any other questions or?
I have a comment. Diane, when we were at the Family History Center the other night, I tried to go from Family Search tree, you know, and go up and see what, to go into Ancestry, and I clicked on the Ancestry thing, and it wouldn't get me into the church. You know, it wouldn't let me in. It'll let me in and see the names, but when I wanted to expand it, like you do when you're a member, it wouldn't let, and I tried 2 different computers, and neither one of them would let us go into Ancestry.
Oh, it wouldn't connect to Ancestry Institution. Oh,
Right.
maybe because you would have to, maybe what you would need to do is bring up another window and log in as yourself with Ancestry, maybe. I don't know. That I need to go to the library and check that out and see why that.
Okay, that was on the second.
It's got to have something to do with the Ancestry Institution there or something.
Yeah, I tried to go in under the other thing that you have there's 2 green trees, family trees on it, and I tried both of those. The one had a premier, you know, attached to it, and but it wouldn't let me in either way.
Yeah, I'll need to look at that.
Yeah,
I'm going to be there Saturday between 11 and 12:30, helping with the 4th ward, Freedom 4th, I think it is.
Okay.
So I can look at it then and see.
All right, yeah, well, I'll be in there Friday before you do, so I was gonna call Richard, but I know he has COVID, so I didn't bother him.
Hopefully he's well by now.
Well, and David didn't know either, so.
Yeah, that's weird that it didn't naturally just connect into Ancestry Institution. So
And it would, I tried to go to New Heritage or My Heritage,
wouldn't work with any of them.
the other ones, and it wouldn't go into any of them.
I wonder if we need to experiment with that and see what the deal is.
Okay, anyway, I thought you'd like to know.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Well, I don't know if somebody can look at it,
Yeah, for sure.
and I don't think Richard's going anywhere yet, so. That's
Okay,
all.
any other questions or problems?
Just comment, it was very great. It's really helpful. And I didn't know much about the Ancestry thing, at least for me. This was rewarding.
I hope I didn't confuse everybody with